Mike Whiskey 7, Foxtrot Oscar November calling through. Mike Whiskey 7, Foxtrot Oscar November monitoring American link.
Mike Whiskey 7, Foxtrot Oscar November. Greetings from New York City. This is Kilo 2, Charlie Victor Delta. The name here is Chris. You have a really great signal coming into New York. Back to you.
Yeah, no problem at all there, Chris. You're a little bit fast for me on the call sign. Maybe you can give me on the next over. The name this end is Gerwin, Golf Echo Romeo, Whiskey Yankee November, Gerwin, QSL.
Gerwin, I hope I said that correctly. It's very nice to meet you. My call sign is Kilo 2, Charlie Victor Delta. Kilo 2, Charlie Victor Delta. And my QTH is the island of Manhattan in New York City. Back to you.
Yeah, QSL, no problem at all there, Chris. Yeah, 100%. Beautiful audio from Manhattan there. Did have the pleasure to visit New York in 2011 during the month of May, which coincided with the hottest May you had in decades, QSL.
Well, Gerwin, I am certainly sorry to hear that. Usually May is the nicest month of the year here, especially for visitors. It's a lot of opportunity to walk around town, which is the second best way to see New York City. I think always the first is to take a boat trip, any kind of a boat trip. We're a city that's really founded upon water, and if it weren't for our wonderful harbor here, we wouldn't even be here. So I am glad you got to visit. I'm sorry it was so hot. And thank you for the signal report. Earlier this evening, I was using another radio, my Yaesu FT70D, and all of a sudden it stopped transmitting, and I had no idea what's going on with it. So I'm going to check it out tomorrow. But right now I'm using the Yaesu FT3D and a Raspberry Pi hotspot that I built a couple of days ago. Microphone back to you.
Yeah, Kilo Tango, Charlie Victor Delta, Mike Whiskey 7, Foxtrot Oscar November returning. Yeah, it sounds really nice there, Chris. It sounds a nice deep bass on the audio there. The working conditions this end is a Yaesu FT991 to a co-linear antenna about 15 feet off the ground, and I'm actually working through well, I say a local repeater. The local repeater to me is 25 miles away as the crow flies on the island of Anglesey. The location this end is a small village above the town of Caernarfon in North Wales, which is about 1,000 feet above sea level, overlooking the Irish Sea, QSL.
MW7FON, this is K2vcd. Can you copy? No response. This is Kilo 2 Charlie Victor Delta, Chris in New York City, and I'll be monitoring AmericaLink.
Kilo 2 CVD, MW7FON. Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, Gerwin, that came through loud and clear. Back to you.
Yeah, I was saying there, Chris, the working conditions this end is a Yaesu FT991 co-linear antenna, and I'm working through a local repeater on the island of Anglesey, about 25 miles away. The home QTH this end is 1,000 feet above sea level, overlooking Anglesey and the Irish Sea. QSL.
QSL, yeah, Garen, that sounds beautiful, and you have a wonderful signal, and that radio is working very well for you. I don't have anything like that myself. We live in an apartment, you would call it a flat, here in Manhattan, and there's absolutely no opportunity to set up any kind of serious HF equipment or even antennas because of the building. So I'm pretty much limited to the digital mode. But your equipment is working very, very well. Back to you.
Yeah, QSL. Thanks a lot there, Chris. Well, I'm only using 5 watts to get into the repeater, and the microphone is a cheap dynamic mic off Amazon, a Stag, the cheapest one they had there, which was about $12 or about £8 British pounds there, QSL.
Well, Garen, it sounds like you found a real bargain because that sounds like a much more expensive and much more high quality microphone. So it sounds like you did a good job in picking out your equipment. And only 5 watts, that's amazing, especially 25 miles away. So I guess it kind of speaks to the fact that you're on a higher elevation. But great job. K2CVD, back to MW7FON.
Yeah, well, if you want to hear your audio, I am recording this one, Chris. So I will be uploading it to the YouTube. The link to the YouTube channel is on my QRZ. So if you want to hear how your audio sounds from your end, have a look on my QRZ and follow the link to the YouTube channel, and you could hear how your audio performs, QSL.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I guess I'm one of these people who doesn't like to listen to himself talk. My wife has a beautiful voice, especially for singing, and I think my best attribute is certainly not my singing voice or my voice. So I appreciate that, and I hope anybody else who's listening is getting a good audio from me too. But I may check it out. I'm not sure, but it's a very interesting thing to do. I know there's another ham on D-Star. I think his call sign is Kilo 6 Echo Echo Golf. I think that's it. He does the same thing on D-Star, so it's very interesting. Back to you.
Yeah, okay, no problem at all. Anyway, Chris, I won't hold it with you. It is coming up to our witching hour, so they say. It's 23:34 this end. So I will be slowly closing up the shack here and heading up the stairs and maybe put my cold feet on the YL. So I'll think I'll make this one my last over. Thanks for returning the call there. Pleasure speaking to you for the first time, and I hope it'll be the first of many, QSL. Kilo Tango, CVD, Mike Whiskey 7, Foxtrot Oscar November. Chris, are you still by? Nothing heard. Mike Whiskey 7, Foxtrot Oscar November, going clear. 73s.